Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Tucker and Audra clash in Paris, and Sally gives Nick bad news. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At Society, Sally thanks Nick for meeting her. They discuss Jordan being found and he asks what's on her mind. Sally flounders. He says she seems nervous and reminds her she can talk to him about anything. Sally sighs. This is going to be a difficult conversation. I have some good news and some bad news. Which one do you want first? Nick will let Sally choose. She takes a deep breath and tells him that Chelsea is taking a leave of absence from Marchetti and Summer wants her to fill in. Nick's surprised but happy for her. He's proud of Summer for letting bygones be bygones. He supposes that was the good news and the bad news has to do with her design company. Sally really tried to keep it going, but the current was always against them. Nick is sorry that Victor wouldn't fold her into Newman. Sally vows to pay him back every cent. Nick argues it was an investment and sometimes they fail. Sally can't help but feel she's letting him down. In Paris, Tucker tells his assistant to contact the companies on the list he gave her and order the executives to cancel any meetings they have scheduled with Audra, who no longer has any association with his company. In Audra's hotel room, she is working on picking an outfit when she takes a call from a Mr. Lemaire. She's looking forward to their meeting tomorrow, but learns he's canceling. Tucker McCall did what? She tells him it's a mistake, but he won't keep the meeting on the books. She disconnects and fumes at if Tucker thinks he can get away with this, he's underestimated her again. In Ashley's apartment, she knows she spoke to Alan that night and she can't be wrong about the one thing she clearly remembers. Alan and Tracy tried to calm her. He asks if she remembers where she went after the bistro. Ashley says she went for a walk, she stopped in at a bar, and that's when she called and asked him to join her. Alan questions her, and she insists she's telling the truth. You and I were together that night. I know it happened. Tracy insists it's not that they don't believe her, they're just trying to help her remember. Ashley remembers speaking to Alan that night, but he's saying it's impossible because he was in Florence. Ashley becomes agitated and Alan asks if she remembers the name of the bar. Could they find it? Ashley rants that maybe they should have her committed after all. Tracy tells her to stop it. That's not going to happen. Alan wants to focus on that night. If she can recapture her memory of it, it might hold the key to everything. In Tucker's room, he asks his assistant Anna to call a meeting of the board of directors to have Audra dismissed from the board. In her suite, Audra takes one call after another in which her meetings are cancelled. Increasingly desperate, she tells one person that Tucker's been caught in a scandal. She'll be taking control of Glissade, no matter what he tells them. At Society, Nick assures Sally that she didn't let him down. She came to him with a solid business plan, and this isn't her fault. Businesses fail. He asks, did you give it everything you had? She replies, 7 days a week. Nick tells her she owes him nothing. She argues, but he won't take her money. He just wants her to do well at Marchetti. Sally says, you're amazing, Nick. He quips, it's been rumored. She tells him he's a really great friend. Nick asks why Summer agreed to take her on. Sally says it didn't take much convincing. She let her get her grudges against her off her chest and she promised to be on her best behavior. It probably helps that it's temporary. Sally gets the feeling she has a lot on her plate, and this is one less thing for her to worry about. I'm really thankful for the chance. Nick would say good luck. But she won't need it. I'm always in your corner. They stand up and hug. Nick leaves and Sally exhales. In Paris, Audra takes a call from Sally, who asks if she has a minute for some good news. Audra needs some desperately right now. Sally tells her she's the new creative director of Marchetti. Audra congratulates her. Sally says it's an interim position, but it gets her foot back in the fashion door. She asks how things are going overseas. Audra complains Tucker's trying to erase her from the company, but she won't give up. I'll never give him that satisfaction. Sally asks how Audra plans to succeed when Tucker has complete control. Audra will use his lack of people skills against him. Sally asks what will happen when he finds out. Audra says he already knows and is coming after her with everything he's got. In his room, Tucker stands on the terrace and flashes to his strange encounter with Alan. He rejoins Anna inside and talks about this Alan guy, not recognizing him. He decides to go for a walk and exits. At the elevator, he runs into Audra. She rants about him checking into the same hotel. He says she's the one who keeps inserting herself into his orbit. She has no rights at Glissade. Audra warns she knows where he keeps all his dirty laundry. Tucker deadpans. I'm terrified. He informs her she'll be off the board momentarily. Audra wonders if they'll still vote with him when she reveals his plans to break down the companies and sell them off to the highest bidder. Tucker pulls the emergency stop. What's it going to take for you to back off? He offers to buy her out. Audra sneers. That is so sweet, Tucker. What she wants is for her to win and him to lose, as soon as possible. He warns she'll end up with nothing. What is it you want? Audra wants Glissade. I want it all. In Ashley's apartment, she tells Alan and Tracy she thinks she can find the bar. She doesn't want to sleep and wants to go now. Alan argues that she needs rest, but Ashley wonders why he's trying to talk her out of it. Alan insists he has no agenda. Ashley steps away to make coffee and Tracy asks what's going on. What are you thinking? Alan says he's worrying that her blackouts started earlier than they thought. Tracy can't understand this. He'd already said the argument with Tucker didn't start this. So, what happened after that to cause this? Ashley returns with coffee and wonders what caused her to black out that night. When she goes back to leaving Tucker in the bistro, she was upset, but not afraid of him. Something must have happened after that. Tracy thinks that's a brave and important realization. Ashley's ready to do this right now. I promise you, I am me. Those other personalities are trying to protect her from the truth, but she has to find out and she's closer than ever to finding answers. Nick arrives at the ranch as Victor concludes a phone call. He says Nikki's at an outpatient session. Nick was worried how she'd take the news that Jordan was alive. Victor says she knows Jordan has been put away for good. The facility is like Fort Knox. Nick thought he'd be more relieved. Victor claims he's worried about Adam. Nick asks if he's heard from him. Victor hasn't and says he's worried about Connor too. He thinks Adam has made wonderful progress. I'm so proud of him. Nick agrees and admits he was wrong to think it would never be possible. Victor fears this could lead Adam back into darkness. Nick thinks this will actually make Adam stronger. He's been watching the way he handles things now. Instead of burning things down, he takes a step back and listens. He gives Sally credit for that. Can you just admit that they're good for each other? Victor says they can agree to disagree about Sally, but it warms his heart to see their bond as brothers growing stronger. Nick says they're in a good place. He's told him if he needs anything, he just has to ask. Victor tells his son this makes a big difference in his heart. If they stand together as a family, nothing will bother them. They can conquer anything. Flo walks into society and Sally calls, "Hey." She hates the way things ended the last time they talked. Sally apologizes and lets her know she's starting work at Marchetti. She will find a way to bring her in. Flo says it won't happen. Summer doesn't need her. Sally needs her. She misses her and even misses her giving her a hard time about Adam. She misses her best friend. Flo quips that she can send her daily emails. She admits it hurts to close their business, even if it was the right thing to do. She took that out on Sally and she's sorry. Sally apologizes if it seemed like she was throwing her new job in her face. Flo tells her Summer is lucky to have her. Sally says jobs come and go but good friends are forever. They'd hug. In the Parisian elevator, Tucker summarizes that Audra intends to take over Glissade from him. Audra says she'll win because she wants it more than him. Tucker doesn't think she understands what he wants. Audra scoffs that Glissade was his consolation prize, and it was all for Ashley. Tucker says Ashley came to him the other day and he turned her down flat. Despite all of this, he loves Audra. Maybe you're the one engaged in self-deception. Audra says he was trying to prove something to Ashley with the company. He's obsessed with her and that will never change. That's fine because she clearly needs him much more than she ever will. Ashley, Tracy, and Alan enter a bar in Paris. Tracy says this is the 5th one they've been to. Ashley tells them, this is it. Alan asks what she remembers. She says, we sat right over there. She flashes to meeting him and recalls she was wearing the same outfit from the bistro, so it had to be that night.